Let me describe something you may have lived through. He was texting you good morning, staying up late, asking about your childhood, your dreams, your fears, making plans, vague but exciting ones. A weekend away, meeting his friends, Italy someday. It felt deep. It felt different. It felt real. And then something shifted. The texts got shorter. He was suddenly very busy at work. The late night conversations became surface level. And you were left doing what women in this situation always do. Rereading old messages, analyzing every interaction, asking yourself the question that quietly destroys women from the inside out. Did I do something wrong? Here's the answer, and it may change everything you thought you understood about men. You did nothing wrong, but you were missing one critical piece of male psychology, a piece that most women are never taught. And without it, even the most intelligent, self-aware, emotionally grounded woman can be completely blindsided by a man who acts like her boyfriend, sounds like her boyfriend, but has no intention of actually being her boyfriend. Today, we are going to name that piece. We are going to break it down with real behavioral science. And by the end of this video, you will never be any placeholder again. To understand what just happened to you, or what is happening to you right now, you need to understand one core principle of male psychology. Psychologists who study attachment and commitment behavior have identified a consistent pattern in how women and men process early-stage relationships differently. When a woman becomes emotionally invested in a man, her brain is running a specific program. It's searching for alignment, shared values, emotional safety, long-term compatibility. If she starts giving a man her time, her body, her emotional energy, it is because she has mentally categorized him as someone with potential for the future. For women, intimacy, emotional and physical, almost always implies intent. Male psychology frequently operates on an entirely different mechanism. Researchers call it compartmentalization, the brain's ability to hold two things simultaneously without requiring them to be connected. And this is the truth that changes everything. A man can genuinely enjoy your company, feel real chemistry with you, care about you as a person, and have absolutely zero conviction about a future with you. These things can coexist in a man's mind without contradiction. Not because he is a predator, not because he is evil, because his brain was never prompted to connect the experience of enjoying you with the responsibility of committing to you. He wants the warmth of the fire. He just never felt the need to chop the wood. Convenience versus conviction. This is the framework that will protect you for the rest of your life. Convenience is where a man is with you because you're easy to be around, warm, affectionate, and available. And the emotional and physical rewards of being near you require no sacrifice from him. He's comfortable. His needs are being met. His brain has no biological or psychological reason to push him toward commitment. He is simply following the path of least resistance. Conviction is different. Conviction is when a man values a woman so highly that his evolutionary instinct kicks in, and he actively wants to secure her. He does not want ambiguity. He does not want the door left open. He books the flight. He introduces you to his family. He defines the relationship. Not because you pressured him, but because the thought of losing you to someone else is genuinely unbearable. Romance requires no sacrifice. Deep conversations cost nothing. Chemistry is effortless. Conviction, real conviction, requires action, exclusivity, and the willingness to take on the full weight of partnership. If you are getting the romance without the conviction, you're living in the convenience zone. And the longer you stay there without recognizing it, the more painful the eventual exit becomes. The 3 psychological tells. Here is how you identify exactly where a man is operating, so you can make a clear, informed decision with your eyes wide open. Tell 1, future faking. He talks beautifully about the future. Italy next summer, meeting his family, a life that sounds like everything you have ever wanted. And your brain, because it is designed to bond, designed to plan, designed to hope, registers those words as promises. But behavioral psychologists are clear on this. Words about the future are cheap. They create the emotional sensation of commitment without requiring any of its actual cost. Watch his behavior in the present tense, not his language about the future. Is he booking the flight or just mentioning it? Is he introducing you or just referencing his family? If he speaks in the future tense but refuses to define your relationship in the present tense, he is using the fantasy of tomorrow to access the benefits of today. Tell 2, the ambiguity shield. A man who is operating in the convenience zone will protect his ambiguity with everything he has, because ambiguity is the mechanism that keeps him comfortable. It gives him access to you while keeping the door open for everyone else. And you try to clarify what you are because you deserve clarity, because clarity is the minimum. He will deploy what attachment researchers call defensive deflection. I really hate labels. I don't want to rush things and ruin what we have. Can't we just enjoy this? Hear this clearly. A man who has genuine conviction about a woman does not want ambiguity. Evolutionary psychology is explicit on this. When a man highly values a woman, his instinct is to secure her, to take her off the market, to make it clear that she is his and he is hers. If he is fighting to keep things undefined, it is not because he is scared of love, it is because he wants the door left open. This is the most psychologically dangerous pattern of all. Behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner identified intermittent reinforcement as their most addictive reward schedule that exists. It is the exact mechanism that makes slot machines impossible to walk away from. You do not get a reward every time you pull the lever. You get it unpredictably, sometimes randomly, just often enough to keep you pulling. He ignores you for 3 days, then he calls. And it is the best 2-hour conversation you have had in weeks. He disappears again. Then a single text that makes your whole day. The unpredictability is not a sign of a complex, emotionally unavailable man who just needs the right woman to unlock him. It is a man managing his roster, reaching out when it is convenient for him, withdrawing when it is not. And your nervous system, addicted to the dopamine spike of his return, begins working harder and harder for less and less. You cannot love someone out of this pattern. You can only recognize it and protect yourself from it. The mindset shift that makes you unplayable. Most women enter dating asking one question: does he like me? The moment you ask that question, you hand over every piece of your power. You become an auditioning actress, scanning his every move for approval, filling the gaps in his character with your own imagination. The woman who cannot be played asks a completely different question. She asks, is he demonstrating value to me? She lets him talk. She lets him plan. She lets him show her who he actually is, not who she hopes he could become. She understands that she cannot date potential. Potential does not show up when you're sick. Potential does not call when it says it will. Potential is a ghost, and she does not build her life around ghosts. When a man shows her he is operating in the convenience zone, she does not write a long paragraph explaining how he hurt her. She does not perform anger or indifference. She simply, quietly, completely removes her presence, her warmth, and her energy. She steps out of his convenience, and she clears space for a man who operates with conviction, because she understands something that once took her too long to learn. His inconsistency was never a reflection of her worth. It was a reflection of his readiness, and she stopped making herself smaller to fit inside someone else's unavailability. If this video named something you have been living through, if it gave language to a feeling you have been carrying alone, please share it with a woman who needs to hear this. A friend who is deep in a situationship she cannot see clearly. A woman who is still making excuses for someone who stopped earning them a long time ago. Subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment below. Tell us which of these 3 tells you have experienced, or just write, I was in the convenience zone. And let that be enough. We are building a community here. Women who make informed decisions about the thing that matters most. Their time, their energy, their heart. You are entirely too valuable to be anyone's placeholder. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. We are not licensed therapists or relationship counselors. If you or your partner are experiencing distress, conflict, or mental health concerns, please consult a qualified mental health professional.